What's good, everybody? It's your Mell, professional stylist, curly hair enthusiast, and trend predictor, back with more to end off Q4 in 2024. At the beginning of every year, I come out with a trends prediction video, but there are things that we cannot predict, and Q4 has got some more in store. So let's talk about the trends that we're gonna see throughout the rest of 2024 and into 2025 to help you decide your hair's vibe. I have got some stunning hair inspo to share with you throughout this video. We're gonna talk haircuts, hair colors, accessories and styles, but also hair health. If it's cliche to say that healthy hair will always be trendy, then just call me corny, because it's the truth, honey bunny. Because while my mental health may be deteriorating, which reminds me, make note to take vitamin D, my hair is a category where I do not do any slacking. Okay? Bold of me to say right now. But this is my plan. I figured that throughout this video, while we're talking about hair trends, I could actually multitask and mask with the only therapy I am currently enrolled in, my Therapy Sessions hair mask. Thank you to Eva NYC for partnering with me on this video. We're gonna use this mask while we talk about the trends. And by the end, I'm sure you will feel a lot more inspired by me and all the other beauties I'm gonna share in this video. There's so much beautiful hair trending. So without further ado, let's get to it. That was probably a long intro, but you know me. All right, so let's jump right into haircut trends because I know time is of the essence. Okay, your appointment is literally coming up and you wanna know how you should be cutting up. Okay, I see you, I hear you. So let's do it, okay? All together now. Can I get a B? Can I get an A? Can I get an N? Can I get a G? Can I get an S? Can I get a bangs? Because the bangs are absolutely banging. Now we have evolution here, okay? There are such a variety of bangs that are popping on the gram right now. And there's a lot of influence from pop culture here, as there always is. But we started the year off with the eyelash bangs. These were bangs that were a little too long, but in a good way. They were long enough that you weren't fully committed to them. So my girlies with commitment issues, those were for you. The eyelash bangs were a wispier style. Think like 1 inch back from your hairline, like a little rectangle here. You could have a short fringe here, and then all this longer hair that would kind of lay on top and you could kind of carve into to blend a little bit. That was the eyelash bangs. If you've never had bangs before, that's a great place to start because if you hate them, you can just grow them out very easily, or they're very much the gateway to a fuller bang. And this is where we're seeing the very full, curtainy, short in the front and then longer to the sides and curving around the face. It used to be called a bottleneck bang because of the shape it resembled. And now people are just calling them the Sabrina Carpenter bangs because Sabrina, I gotta be honest, I love ya. I love you. I'm loving the vibes, the tunes, the bangs, even the blonde. But for now, the bangs. They've really been having this iconic moment, and we're seeing bangs in a lot of different variations where they're kind of free hanging, like you may just have bangs and then long hair and longer layers. Or more commonly, we're seeing them connected very shaggily, like there's a lot of different layers happening. Of course, there are many variations of layers, and the styles that we're seeing the most are those really cascading layers, like you want to see multiple. Think the butterfly haircut. This is a very like 70s shag inspired haircut that kind of evolved into like the 90s, the Rachel kind of haircut, because it really depends on your hair's length. But regardless, these heavy bangs into this heavy face framing, still very much trending. Shocker, layers are in style. Who would have thunketh? Absolutely everybody. Now, I'm not quite done talking about bangs because we can't talk about bangs without talking about bobs.
What's your name, P.O.B., so they calling you Bob?
The bob and the bang go together like this. Especially the curly bob. If you fear the triangular shape, which happens often, especially on this type of bob, the bowl cut bob is what a lot of people are calling it. It's basically a graduated and layered bob on curly hair with bangs that gives you this stunning, voluminous, rounded shape. Now this style works really well on very dense hair as well as tighter textures that tend to stack. Because at that length and with that shape, the hair will completely defy gravity, have that really beautiful round shape, and give that kind of bowl cut vibe. Now there's one signature element to this bob that I want to make you be aware of, okay? When we think of the bowl cut from the side angle, you're gonna see the bangs start here and connect to shorter pieces around the face, getting longer towards the back. So you're gonna get this bowl cut shape here. Now I do want you to beware of that. On the bowl cut, there are no corners. There's no corners. There's no sharp angles. Everything is round. Everything is very soft. Everything is connected. And I think I should mention that this haircut is kind of a lot to upkeep because it will grow out of its shape quite fast. Really, any short haircut will. And then you'll just get obsessed with cutting it. Hence why the bob was trending both last year and this year. She's really not going anywhere. Once you go bob, there's no going back. Partly because it takes a long time to grow out, but you also just become obsessed with it. And the bob evolves with you too. Some different bob styles are the French bob versus the Italian bob. I talked a lot about this in my last trends video. The French girl bob is a little bit more blunt on the ends and it's got a stack in the back, which also pairs really beautifully with a pair of Bardot bangs or even the wispier eyelash bangs. Very French girl, very fall. Versus the Italian bob, which is a little on the longer side. It's not quite as short. Like the French is more chin, whereas the Italian bob is more neck length to collarbone. And it's got a softer textured one length with longer layers and softer face framing pieces as opposed to a heavier bang. If you are growing out your bob, perhaps this is where you're at with your journey. And as you continue growing, it's gonna shape beautifully into like that very 90s Rachel haircut if you wanted lots of layers. As we know, layers look amazing on both curly and straight hair, especially if the straight hair that you like to wear is a more blowout style. But on curls, the layers just really give a lot of shape and movement to the hair. Not something to be afraid of. We should always embrace a layer or 12. I am also requesting, can we see more pixies, please? I actually make it a point whenever I see a woman with short hair on the street, at the mall, on the phone, if I got a call, I will go out of my way to say, I love your haircut. Because nothing is more powerful than a pixie. Pixies can be scary, which is why as a middle ground, we're seeing the Bixie. The Bixie has been a trending haircut. It's kind of at the borderline between pixie and a bob, giving very much 80s Princess Diana. It's a great option if you have very, very dense hair and you don't want your bob to be super bulky, because it's essentially a bob that has a lot of weight removed and it's very texturized to be very lightweight, really wispy, really effortless. From certain angles, it does still look like a bob, just a really, really short, very contoured bob that is borderline pixie because you probably can't put it in a ponytail. If you can put it in a ponytail, it's a bob. If you can't, it's a Bixie Pixie bob. And this close, no, I'm not. Well, this hair is so long overdue for a wash. Let's see the rest of my list here. Yeah, that's where I'm at with the haircut trends. And I fear before I continue, I need to go cleanse. So just give me a sec and we'll come back for color trends. Okay, if my makeup is busted, just mind your business, please. I only shampooed, no conditioning, no detangling. So we're gonna do that now together. Because first things first, the Eva NYC hair mask therapy sessions, of course. This can replace your daily conditioner. Although just because it can doesn't mean you'll need that. When you look into the tub here, she is super thick, very rich, very conditioning, and with a ton of slip. So I'm gonna take this beautiful little dollop and I'm gonna apply this all over my hair that's now been lightly towel dried. That's how you wanna apply your conditioners and your hair masks anyways. You should always wring out a lot of the excess water, then apply, really focusing on the ends or wherever your hair is the most dry. Oh, why didn't I put that in there? Wherever your hair is most dry, but not while the hair is soaking, sopping wet, because you want this to actually adhere to your hair. This mask has hydrolyzed proteins, which are great for damaged hair. They're also great if you have high porosity and you have essentially holes in your hair, because they'll essentially help to plug those holes and help your hair actually retain its moisture better. It's also very rich in argan oil, which is a very antioxidant rich oil. It's really great for shine. It's really great if you have color treated hair. And it's also one of the more lightweight oils. So it's well tolerated, even if your hair is finer. And this mask is very smoothing. It feels very silky on the hair because it does have silicones, which I personally love to see in a hair mask, especially for, as I mentioned, those damaged textures. Now, we will see here. I hate this. I hate this if I'm not in the shower. I need to rinse. God, if anything, I'm gonna need therapy after this. But what we're gonna see now that it is fall is more shedding. Yeah, not to change the topic on trends, but this is actually a trend. Losing more hair, aka shedding more in the fall, is a trend. It's not just you, friend. For just a little more context, the hair has growing phases. There's the anagen phase, which is the growing phase. The majority of our hair follicles are in this anagen phase. They live here for 3 to 6 years until they shed in the telogen phase. So while it is scary, it is completely natural for us to lose a little more hair in the fall, which of course can have a really big impact on our mental health. But I'm here to reassure you and try to get you not to stress any further, because stressing will not do any helping. What we can do during this time is try to keep getting as much sunlight as possible, take your vitamin D, and get some therapy. And if you're like me, maybe that just includes your Therapy Sessions hair mask from Eva NYC. I've been using this for years. You can backtrack on the channel. It's one of those masks that I will always keep in my routine because it is super fast. I'm actually ready to rinse. It only needs to sit on for 2 to 5 minutes. Melts into the hair, leaving it instantly softened. It works great if you're color treated. And it's also a very affordable mask for the size that you get. In addition, I also have a discount code. So I'm gonna put the link to that below in the description box. My discount code is Mell20. So don't forget to use that when you're shopping at Eva NYC. And thank you to Eva NYC for sponsoring this portion of the video. I'm gonna go rinse quickly and then we'll get into coloring. Can you see my roots at this angle? Okay, let's get into the material. My hair, it feels like a waterfall. And this is what I mean by look how long. Very much Italian bob, which very much me, but with an M. Not mob, I meant Mell. Okay, relax, unless you're a redhead. The redheads are not going to bed, but there is a certain vibe to reds. I do feel like the hue has shifted very cool. And what's funny is I kind of did predict some sort of a blue hue. I wasn't entirely wrong. We're just adding blue to our reds, making them more purple. Cherry cola, anyone? Yeah, oh, me. Are you serious? Did that just go all over my laptop? You did nothing to me. I did not mean to do that to you. Cherry cola, anyone? Earlier this year, I transformed my sister into a cherry cola red, which is a variation of this like rich burgundy shade. It has a lot of that rich red with almost these berry undertones. There's a coolness to it. That is still very much trending. It's just very high maintenance. Amanda will tell you that herself. And I speak from experience when I say it is not easy to remove. So just consider that before hopping on a trend. You have to embody. Red is bold. Red is big. Red says Beyonce. Even though she doesn't really wear red. She's more of a blonde. It gives Beyonce attitude, okay? So you need to be prepared to embody that type of confidence, to embark on that type of journey that's going to draw so much attention to you and also require you to maintain it at home with regular color masks and regularly changing your pillows and throwing out your towels. I fear. By the way, we're not just seeing those cool tones in the red reds, but even the copper reds. I feel like we're seeing less of like the bright orange copper and more of that auburn that is more balanced with some brown, some neutral, even having some of those violet tones in there. And auburn is really beautiful because it's not quite red. It can be perceived as a really, really warm brown, so it looks more natural. The grow out can be relatively graceful and it's just not as high maintenance. There's still maintenance, it's still hair color, but if you don't think you're gonna be able to get in and out of the salon every 6 weeks, I do think you can get away with doing the auburn color. Now, what about dimension? What are we seeing with highlights, right? Highlights have evolved from the ombre, the balayage, the baby light, the money piece. And we've been in this era of a very blended, seamless, tone on tone, kind of shimmer, just very natural effect with highlights. This looks amazing on the Old Money Blonde. So think if you have like a natural level 7 or higher, you're already a natural like dark blonde, you get high lift highlights that aren't too light, and they just give you that dimension that doesn't scream at you. It's giving expansive. Seamless has been the trend. But I am living for some bolder pops. I even added some brighter blonde to the ends of my hair, and I am loving some of this inspo right here. But the key to the highlights is keeping them the same tone as the base. So there's not too much contrast, everything still flows and is seamless while still getting that bolder effect with your highlights. It's possible without looking outdated. Couple examples being, if you have a warm brown base with a lot of golden undertones, your highlights have a lot of golden undertones. Or you have those cooler berry tones all throughout. Since we have been on the topic of highlights, let's talk blondes. I would like to once again shout out the, oh no, I didn't put mousse up here. Sometimes I do that when I'm applying my stylers in sections. I forget to apply to some sections, and then I'm stuck having to restyle. Is that just me? As I was saying, blondes. I once again shout out Miss Sabrina Carpenter, who is clearly having her moment. Her buttery blonde is absolutely everything. We're seeing a very solid blonde with a very beautiful blended shadow root. It's bright, it's warm, it's buttery, absolutely delicious, but not always easy to achieve if you're not already a natural blonde or have naturally fine hair, or if your hair is darker than a level 5, the color is just not gonna jive. And these warm blonde tones also work really well on a brunette base as long as there's been a base break. A base break would be lifting your natural base, which will reveal some warmth. It'll also reveal some roots as your hair grows, but it softens that contrast from the highlights and that lighter blonde. So instead of like a black to blonde, it's this brown to blonde, and it's giving more caramel swirl as opposed to like Oreo, you know? I am also feeling hungry / could use a coffee. So for my brunette babies, those deep, rich espresso tones, like a deep, rich, dark brown, almost borderline black, it's actually always going to look good, I fear, because it leaves so much shine on the hair. The hair will always look healthiest when it's darker. And there's something so timeless about that rich, deep espresso brown, which you can also add some of those like very subtle high lift highlights to get more of like a swirl in there too. You know, an espresso with some froth on top. Keeping with very deep chocolatey tones. Chocolate has warmth. Chocolate is not just a cool toned ash brown. It's balanced with some reds, it's balanced with some golds. This keeps the hair looking very multi-dimensional and again, very rich, very expensive. That expensive brunette, that's the trend. Expensive brunette, old money blonde. You would think that we're not even in a recession. Now, if you will excuse me, I'm gonna diffuse my hair so we can finish off with styling. Okay, now that I have my almost finished style, let's talk about the styles we're gonna see. Very coquette, but more blingy. The biggest trend I'm seeing right now is hair jewelry. We're talking those gold-plated ponytail accessories that they're just so chic. And you don't have to necessarily buy some of these cuffs because I've seen them going for hundreds of dollars. You can totally get crafty and just use bracelets, bangles, rings, literally jewelry in the hair or any kind of gold accessory. I think bows are still going to be around as well, but we're moving away from the claw clip and into the French pin era, which is so much better, especially when you're driving. The French pin is more passenger princess friendly. Please do not be driving with a claw clip in your head. It's a safety hazard, just in case, okay? And that, my friends, is how I think we're gonna be closing out our 2024 hair trends. Let me know what trend you're feeling in the comment section below. While you're down there, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 1 milli. To everyone already subscribed, thank you so much for helping us get to 900,000. This is absolutely huge. And this month's giveaway on my website is going to be very huge to reflect that. If you're not subscribed to our weekly newsletter, make sure you do that on our website so you're entered into the monthly draw for giveaways. And once again, thank you to Eva NYC for partnering with me on today's video. Get yourself a Therapy Sessions hair mask and thank me later. And this, my friends, has been your main girl Mel with 2024 to 2025 hair trends, and we're out. Peace. Hey QT, we're in Q3, which means we need to talk about what's currently trending. Oh my God, I said Q3, but it's literally gonna be Q4. What happened to the year? I forgot. I forgot about Q3. Q3 was the summer. Is that even a Q? No, it's an S. It's an F for fun. What? How was I supposed to open this video? Hey whore, we're in Q4. Hey, what's good everybody? Hey whore, we're in Q4. Oh, I got it. What's good everybody? Even though my mental health may be deteriorating. What a stupid word. I don't like that very much. I wear this style like 7 times a week. Like my hair just naturally will end up in this little scarf style throughout the week at any given time. But I never wear my hair like this when I'm filming. And I don't know why. Like it's cute. No, this is cute. This is cute. But I can't even lie to you. Beginning of the video, Mel was serving in this hair scarf. This is a really random one that I thrifted a long time ago. Very cutesy, very demure. By the way, it is 3:30 in the morning. I can't believe my family isn't screaming at me. I did try to be more demure in this video. Is it working? Oh, and we totally changed Amanda's hair color because she could no longer tolerate the red. Mind you, it's still red because removing red is fully a process, but it's not cherry cola anymore.